It's Monday, the 9th day of May, 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sencha Durham, and Leanna Lambert will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Sencha, happy belated Mother's Day to you. How was it?
Good morning, Jamal. I need a day after Mother's Day to relax.
So
Yeah,
it was a working mom's day?
I had a working mom's day. So obviously motocross is a men's sport, and nobody thought about the fact that it was Mother's Day and we had racing.
I'm
No
sorry.
one cared, and they had the audacity to send out a flyer that said, "Come and enjoy the Mother's Race." So not only do you want us to come and be there for Mother's Day, but you want us to get on a bike and race. That part I refused. I'm like, it's not happening. I'm not do. I can do it, but I'm not on Mother's Day. It's not going to happen. But when I tell you, I was the mechanic, I was the hype man, I was Jamal. I'm tired.
So hold on. Quick question. So you know how like in football they say soccer mom. Are you like a motor mom or like what are you?
Jamal, I'm gonna send you pictures. They actually have pictures of me being a motor mom. Like I'm literally power washing bikes. Yesterday his bike middle of the race cut out, and I'm like running across the track, and I'm like, "Come on, get on your bike!" And I'm like starting the bike.
You know
Yes,
what?
I'm a motor mom. I'm a soccer mom. I'm definitely a boy mom. I don't know what with the girl.
Yep.
I'm not sure.
No, it was meant to be. It was meant to be, and you know what?
Yeah.
These,
And you know what else happened this weekend?
what's that?
So, I met one of our fans,
Oh, really?
Miss Karen. Yes, I was calling out Maddox's name. Maddox and I randomly decided to go for a walk down through the tracks, and I was like, Maddox, and she turned around. She's like, Sancha. I was like, yes. It didn't look like me, but yeah.
He said it didn't look like me. So hold on. Which viewer was it?
It was Karen Simmons.
Okay. You know, I don't know what it is, but you and Leanna meet everyone. I go outside to the grocery store. I don't meet anybody. You know what I'm saying?
But it's so fun to put a face with the name. I see her comments all the time, but it was nice to actually like put a face with it.
See, and our audience is friendly. You didn't even need security, right?
No, she was very sweet. I think she was more concerned that Maddox had me carrying chairs, carrying sticks, and pushing his bike while he was trying to beat her.
Hey, Maddox, keep it up, fella. Keep it up. Nah, but I'm sure he will appreciate all his mama does throughout his life. And that's the way boys are. And gumbays, football, scrambling, a boy's dream. So he will grow.
And I told you he's dancing in his first parade this year. So I'm happy we're having the parade. Maddox will be a gumbay for the first time.
Which gumbay troop?
H&H.
All right now, all right.
I was actually, I didn't think about it, but the other day we were driving home and he's like, Mom, I learned something cool today. And he's actually learning the history of being a gumbay and what it means. And he was able to teach me about the tassels. And I'm like, this is so cool.
It's more than
I
just dancing, right? It's more than just dancing.
yeah, and I feel like that's something that, especially around May 24th, I hope that we're taking into our schools and we're teaching them the full history
Mhm.
of, gumbays and, what each part of it represents. It's
Well, Imma call somebody out now. Let's just hope Zane gets back to us about coming on and speaking
I'm
about
gonna see
it.
Zane tonight, and
Yeah,
I will be hi, Zane.
yeah,
I will
yeah.
see you tonight.
Yeah, we've got Karen Simmons says, yes, I met Sancha and Maddox doing the middle to end. Yeah, you know what? We're going to talk about the end to end and middle to end today, folks. We will get onto that. But just want to say, um, I think I feel a bit better, Sancha. I think I feel a bit better. Um,
Oh, you
slight,
sound a lot better.
yeah,
I'm not as concerned as I was day 1 and 2. I was messaging you like every day, say, God, Jamal, are you okay? I'm calling you Maddox now. Are you okay?
yeah.
If Jamal was in Bermuda, I probably would have been dropping stuff on his doorstep.
hmm This is what caring people do, folks. This is what caring people do. But I'm glad you had a good weekend, folks. We a lot went on this weekend. A lot went on since we last spoke. Obviously, the Bermuda Police Service did, and I'm sure Leanna will have more in her news report about another murder. And then there was the passing of the bill for Fairmont Southampton, um, which looks like Gencom's happy about, and I'm sure Leanna will have that in her news as well. But what we want to speak about this morning, this was the first time since 2019, if I'm not mistaken, that the end to end, middle to end was held at its original time in May, because last year I think it was October, if I'm not mistaken, that we had them on. But it was, I'll tell you, I mean, I enjoyed watching it. Let me just highlight and emphasize watching it. I'm watching people share so many pictures and feeling good to be out and about. But I guess the question is, what can we learn from the end to end taking place again in May? Like, do you all feel like Bermuda's finally getting back to normal? We're finally back outside. Could this mean that we can have events again? Are we back to that place where we're open up and people are free? Like, what did it feel like, Sandra?
Well, the way that it happened for us, got up and Maddox was like, Mom, let's go for a run. So I'm like, okay, let's go for a run. Not really thinking about Middleton because it was early in the morning, right? So we ended up going through the tracks in Somerset. And as we're going through the tracks, we're like meeting riders, we're meeting, and it was almost like we were drawn to the energy because we went further and further and further. And then when we finally got down to Somerset Bridge, it was a rest stop, which was Deloitte, and the energy was so amazing, like from the walkers, the riders. We saw canoe, we saw I want to say skaters, and it was just such great energy, and it felt like people were ready to be out, and for such a good cause, and they must start a lot earlier than they used to, because I remember I've done it maybe about 3 times, and I feel like I get in dockyard maybe about 1, maybe 2, and this was probably about 10 a.m., and it was a slew of people. Like, Maddox was able to get tattoos, popcorn, a popsicle, a hat, um a superhero picture. Like, these rest stops were awesome, and everybody participating was really like, I don't know many people that didn't participate, And
Mm.
as people were riding through, they were like, "Sunshine, what's up, Durham? What's?" It was just such good energy. And I said, I'm like, next year we're doing it, Maddox. You and I.
So it definitely feels like a sense of community is coming back
Yes,
again, and
yes.
people are expressing themselves. Traveling Trotty, she says, we are opened up and looking forward to cop match. Like, is the like I mean, we're supposed to be having carnival weekend activities in June.
Mhm.
Bermuda Day is coming up in a couple of weeks. Cop match, obviously the biggest holiday of the summer, but it seems like, Sandra, we feel safe again, though. That's what it
Yeah,
feels like. People feel safe
yeah.
again. That's the vibe you got.
Definitely. And I mean, not only middle to end, but you look at I know there was a brunch this weekend at Huckleberry.
Mhm.
And once again, drawn, I'm like, what's going on over there? I'm at my grandmother's house and I'm seeing like loads of pictures, and the energy is high, and just seemed like a good time. And it was another brunch yesterday at I want to say Pickle.
mhm,
just great energy. So it's like people are ready to be out and about. I'm hoping that we're doing it safely.
mhm.
Yes, numbers are rising.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Like again, I have a Bermudian friend who just relocated to Florida this past weekend, and she said, she's coming from up north. She's like, um, well, I'm in lawless Florida, and there's not a mask in sight but me, right? And so, like, is it? I get, what can we learn from end to end? Were people walking in masks? Are people
No,
like
no, there wasn't a
just
mask in sight, but I'm sure that would be totally uncomfortable. But I'm sure they must have had some protocol. I could be throwing me and my protocol, right?
yeah, yeah.
um, I'm wondering. I know when they did May 24th, the marathon.
Mhm.
When was it? Not we had it last year. Was it last year?
Yeah, I want to say
Yeah.
last year. Yeah.
You had to test. So I'm wondering if it was the same way. I
You know
don't know
what?
what the protocols were.
That may have been asked when they were on, and I cannot remember. Karen Simmons says Relay for Life next week. Well, I am signed up for Relay for Life, but um, you
Gonna
know,
get you now back to Bermuda.
yeah, my COVID challenges, folks. I am signed up. Want to take part, obviously, in memory of my mom. So hopefully, I can participate in Relay for Life next weekend. And I, folks, let me just be clear. Me asking about people walking a mask, I think that would be ridiculous. But at the end of the day, I feel like people should do whatever they feel makes them safe. I just,
Mind you, I
mhm,
did see that the clusters were groups of people that knew each other. So it wasn't just like a all out. So it was like, a cluster of you five came together. So obviously you feel safe together, you know? It was lots of pockets of groups the whole way through. So
yeah, I was excited to see that though, Sancha. Like
mhm.
honestly, the last 2 years, in some respect, as far as getting together and engaging and doing stuff like this, have been written off. I
Yeah,
refuse to say the last 2 years are a waste or whatever, because here we are right here doing this because of the
yeah.
last 2 years.
Well,
But it's encouraging. It's encouraging.
I also think that the last 2 years have, given us time to put a different perspective. I know me, like, totally busy all the time. Then I was told, like, I have to pull back, and, when we had those lockdowns, and I actually appreciated them. The fact that I was able to be home and cook and spend time with my entire family, and nobody could get up and go anywhere. It's like, "Nope, you're stuck with me." I enjoyed it. It was just like, yes, I know some people were like banging their heads against the wall that they wanted to go out, but I was blessed. Whereas, we're my family, the way that our property is laid out, we're kind of all together, all have our own
Mhm.
spaces, but we live pretty much together. And it was so
Yeah,
nice just to take that time because it doesn't happen anymore because everybody gets so caught up in their day-to-day life and
it,
the busyness of everything. And it was great, and yes, I knew it was a sacrifice. Yes, I was losing money and all of that, but
yeah.
the value that I got to reconnect with my family was priceless.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
Shamcat Place says my daughter is dancing in the Bermuda Day Parade, no mask, so I'm looking forward to the squad performing again in the open. Charles H. Jefferson II says we're people walking in masks. I take it you've never walked 24.1 miles. Well, of course not, brother Charles. You know me. I'm a spectator. But no, thought the thought of that would be ludicrous. I just don't see how someone can walk so far or exercise in like in a mass. So just
Yeah.
it was refreshing to see the pictures, including
Right?
brother Charles, your pictures and your group. It was refreshing to see so many Bermudians out and about. Like when I was down for COVID, I got outside every day in terms of like just going outside the garage, just taking in the fresh air. Like it made a difference. Like we cannot stay cramped up and inside. Like that's
Yeah.
the worst thing to do.
Yeah.
You need fresh air. So it's encouraging to see. What can we learn from the end to end taking place again in May? I believe tomorrow we have the folks from SailGP. Is it tomorrow, Sanchez?
Yes. The OGP.
We've
I'm
got
excited.
CLGP coming up. That's something, and you're very familiar with this kind of stuff, having assisted with the America's Cup. But like an event like the end to end, and then this the next weekend. This is really like
Yeah.
I want to say an unofficial start to summer. I know we used to say Bermuda Day, but end to end, Relay for Life,
Yeah.
CLGP, Bermuda, we are back open.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it feels good. Obviously, you have to take responsibility for yourself, your comfort level, and you know what your situation is, and operate within that. Even at motocross yesterday,
Mm,
it's tons of people.
yeah.
No one has on a mask, but I know for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna stay over here in this group, in this circle. This is where I feel safe, and you keep your distance. And obviously, we still think about those things, but we're in a different space. We're a lot more comfortable with it, which is great.
Indeed, I love that, and I'm happy. Real quick question from the audience: how many people participated in the end to end or middle to end, either riding or walking? Just let us know, yes or no, or did you participate in the middle to end or end to end? And Sencha, you say next year you're going to participate in
I'm
which one?
in.
Which
I mean,
one?
I've done it. So I did it maybe twice before I had Maddox.
Mhm.
I did it once after I had Maddox, and I think his friend, his mom, she had called me and she was like, Logan did 14 mi. I'm like, what? Is that possible for a 6-year-old?
14 miles. Okay.
I know, and Maddox was very upset that we didn't. So next year we'll probably ride it.
I love that his competitive spirit. I loved it. You know,
Child, I
I'm
had to
always thrilled it's
he
not a
gets that from
competition.
his mama.
Hey, look, it's nothing wrong
I
with a
am
little
so
competition.
I can't wait till we have a games night. You're gonna see it. I'm so
No,
competitive,
let's
Jamal.
let's
Get on my team.
let's have it. Let's have it.
Get
Hey,
on.
look, Sherry, Herm, Phil, and Liana against me, you, and Larry and
I'm
Maya.
gonna take Shanta. I feel like Shanta knows a lot about a lot. You know what I mean? So
I, I,
I
I
want
I
her.
don't want that person on my team. Oh, that's like the big
Wait,
sister. Like her and I have got to be against each other, folks.
okay.
Sean's the one who schedules all the amazing guests for the show, and folks. So if you ever come on the show, she'll be the one who you discuss it with. Karen Simmons says yes, she participated. She did the middle to end. And where does the middle to end start at? Old Boys Point, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Charles H. Jeffers II said he did the end to end first time last
Oh my goodness. I couldn't imagine what end to end feels like because middle to so I've done middle to end, right?
time.
And when you get okay, so you get to Somerset Bridge and you're feeling like, okay, I'm almost there. And then you get to like Somerset Cricket Club and you're like, I'm almost there. And then you get to like Somerset Village and you're like, where is Dockyard?
It's like you're almost there, but not.
Dockyard is so far away from Somerset, and your feet are hurting and your legs are hurting, and you're like, where is Dockyard? And I live in Somerset. And then I tell you get to a point that it hurts so much that you're like, I'm gonna run. And then you try to run, and it's just like it's never ending.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
And I want
maybe
to shout out to Elliott School. Apparently, they had a group that did it. So the
really.
kids and the teachers, yeah. So
That's
I
amazing.
feel like it's an awesome way for them to bond and the kids to learn about charity. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
they putting me to shame. All these children, 6 years old, and all that making.
Yeah.
Look, my feet ain't what they used to be, folks. You know, I'm going 40. Michelle White says the end to end is the start of summer. To have it back on schedule is promising for what's to come in the upcoming month. So only Charles and Karen did the end to end or middle to end, folks. Like none of our audience
Next
members.
year we have to get everybody involved.
So the TDH community, we will have a team in that,
Yeah.
including Charles. It's not the last time, brother Charles. Carol Griffith says middle to end from Botanical Gardens. Okay,
She's
so
a little
not Old
further.
Boys Point. It used to be Old Boys Point, according to Karen Simmons. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Oh, okay. So it's
Michelle White says no. Middle to end a few years ago was enough. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get this ready. Look, we'll put together a TDH community team. I will get my chair and watch you all along the way.
But
Or
but mind you, you know what's so crazy when you say it's the unofficial start of summer? Whenever I did do it, I felt like all of a sudden I should be like a size 2. I'm like, "I walked all that way, I'm ready for summer." No,
yeah.
no.
Oh, you know what? That makes me. How many steps? Anyone who did middle to end or end to end, how many steps did you do? How many steps? Shornette Bell said she had a wedding. Oh, right. It was the wedding we didn't have an invite to. Hopefully, it was a beautiful wedding. Shornette Bell. Shayna Smith I've done middle to end once and never again. My goodness, these are fit people, people that I look up to, and they're like, oh no, they're scaring me. Well, I want to say, I think, Shauna, you had a birthday recently. So if that's correct, happy belated birthday to you. Wishing you many more years of health and happiness to you. Let's bring in Leanna, see what Leanna did for the weekend. And you think she did the middle to end or end to end?
No.
Okay, all right.
I
We're not gonna ask her then. No, I'm gonna ask her. That's how I am. Good morning, Lee. How are you?
Sancho, you already knew. Absolutely not.
I feel like Liana would have been at somebody's rest stop cheering people along.
This
Like,
is
yeah,
thank you, Sancho. Yeah. So I had my years, and good morning, everybody. My years of doing middle to end when we were young and sprucey. I don't have that type of energy
young
anymore.
and
I'm not gonna
juicy.
lie. Yeah.
Yes,
But
really
no,
young.
kudos to our CEO because he did it for the first time and he did the full length. We might see you in the office today, Charles. Maybe,
No,
maybe
but
not.
he said he's
I
not gonna
can
do it again.
I I wouldn't do end to end. I'm
Absolutely
it's
not. I
heavy.
can't wait to hear his stories about it because
Mm-mm.
absolutely not.
I want, like, do you think people have like blisters and stuff after doing it?
Oh my God. Yes.
Oh,
Of course.
that's what I'm afraid
Yes.
of. Yeah, I don't really do this. I got some answers to the steps. How many steps? Karen Simmons says she got 33,958 steps. Wow. Phil
Yeah.
is guessing that Charles was like 50,000 steps. We've got
Oh my
another Bill to
gosh.
end. Stacey Ann Brown says 33,000 steps.
I had seen, I want to say on Tika had did, they had a
Yeah.
group that did end to end, and I
Yep.
said 50. I have to ask her. I want to say she said 50 something thousand. I think that's what she posted.
Man. So look,
Yeah.
Between
um,
50 and 80.
yeah, I do about 50,000 over 4 days. I don't think it's mentally right for me to take on 50,000 steps in one day. Something doesn't seem morally right about that. My
Like
feet
no.
don't deserve that. If you get what I'm saying? They don't deserve that kind of behavior. So Lee, you had a good weekend though.
I did. I had an eventful weekend. Saturday, I was busy packing up my house, and then I got the chance to interview international recording reggae artist Sarani, who was on Island for
Yeah.
a Toast to Mother or Toast to Mama's event on Saturday night. So that was quite fun. And then I got the chance to host my very first Canadian journalists who were down to write a few stories about the island. So that was fun as well.
So
But
he
Rightly.
Ronnie, the like it's
it's Sarani. Yes. And
No,
it was like a last minute thing. So in the midst of, trying to rush around and get there, Leanna Lambert decided that she was going to back her car into a trailer and bust out her window.
Lee.
Interesting weekend.
We're not going to focus on that. That
We're
happened,
not.
but other things happened as well. So,
Great things
yeah,
happened,
we're not
so
going to
it's
focus on
okay.
that.
hold
It's
on, hold on,
materialism.
hold on.
Move on, Jamal.
Let, me-
Move
let, me-
on.
let me just say,
Don't turn the knife, Jamal. Don't turn it.
last year this time, I went to look at a house, and as we were leaving, I backed up into a truck that wasn't in back of me when I started backing up,
It
and
disappeared.
my rear video camera has been damaged ever since.
Oh,
So that said, Liana, I can relate, my sister.
thank you. I just
The
needed.
Let
best.
me ask this. Liana, it was at night, right?
No, it's broad
Good.
daylight.
Yeah, see what you say. See, Sancho. See how you are. See,
See, Sasha, I thought Jamal was gonna really
Trying to
turn the knife.
see
That
me,
was
Lee.
you.
she was trying to throw me. She was trying to throw me.
I was trying to throw Jamal because he was looking at a house, right?
It
So
was daytime.
obviously it was in the middle of the day. You was into. I thought it was at night. So I was like, Lee,
No.
you're fine. It was at night. You couldn't see.
It was horrible. The trailer was there, and I saw the trailer, but the little lip back part that kind of comes
But
out?
Lee,
It was in a blind spot, and I
no,
couldn't
help
see
me.
it.
What happened? It's the after part, and everybody runs over to you like, oh my God, are you okay?
So nobody ran over. Nobody ran over to help me. Nobody. I was sitting there in shock, and nobody came over to help
But
me.
that's fast. That is
Yeah,
fast because had everybody come over, it would have been
it
a
would have
whole
been a.
situation. Like
It would have
you
been on
went
social media.
into silence and you
Exactly.
drove off.
I
but
no, I didn't. I
but
had to actually run inside and conduct the interview at this point live, which I
Oh,
thought
so
was
it was
recorded.
before. Oh,
So,
my goodness.
yeah,
It didn't take you off your A game,
it
girl.
you're
did
safe.
not,
You're safe, Lee. You're safe. You're safe.
Sorry,
You're safe.
we're safe.
Okay.
We are
Whew,
safe.
Safe.
whew,
Mommy and baby are safe.
whew.
We are safe. So it was
All
an
right.
eventful weekend, but I'm excited. I got some beautiful flowers
Yeah, I
for
was
my
saying.
pre-mommy's day, and
Yeah.
that was lovely. Shout out to my partner.
Are those roses?
Those are pink roses.
Okay. All right. Well, enjoy. I mean, she took the Christmas tree down, as you can see, folks. Look, let's get over to the and the news break, folks. After the news break, we have another conversation we've got to have. It's about us, the media. Is the media too aggressive when trying to report news? Should the media be at the scene of murder? Should we be as aggressive as we are? We'll be back after Leanna does
Yeah,
her.
I went in on that one.
Over to you, Lee.
Thanks, Jamal and Sancha. Good morning and happy Monday to all of those who are tuned in with us this morning. I hope everyone is having a great start to this Monday. I'm Leanna Lambert, and it's time for the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. In today's top stories, some call it a shocking twist as MPs have decided to back tax concessions for the controversial Fairmont Southampton bill in the House of Assembly last Friday. Now, despite a lengthy debate which saw former Finance Minister Curtis Richardson clash with party colleagues, the bill was passed without any MP voting against it, and it will give developers Gencom the green light for tax concessions of between $121 million and $133 million over 15 years to Fairmont Southampton. Now, it was also revealed that the government will give a guarantee of $75 million. The tax concessions are said to cover customs duty, hotel occupancy tax, land tax, and the employer's portion of payroll tax. Now, presenting the bill for its second reading, Tourism Minister Vance Campbell said naysayers of the concessions who have included the One Bermuda Alliance were quote unquote borderline criminal and undoubtedly tone deaf. Meanwhile, echoing his sentiments, Premier David Byrd said, quote, without this bill, the government loses, business loses, families lose, union members lose, individuals lose, and Bermuda loses, end quote. But maintaining his stance, Mr. Dickinson said that the legislation had failed to provide sufficient detail regarding the guarantee and that added costs could still run higher. In other news, the island has been plagued with solving yet another murder as police launch an investigation after the body of a man reported missing was found Thursday on the shoreline in St. George's near the St. Regis Hotel. Leading detectives said 22-year-old Kiyoshi Robinson could have been lured to the spot where it is thought he was shot to death. Detective Superintendent Nicholas Pedro said police are of the view that Mr. Robinson knew his killers. A family liaison officer was working closely with the family and friends of Mr. Robinson to assist them during this difficult process. Police say that there was a lot of speculation on social media about the reason for Mr. Robinson's death. However, they have urged members of the public not to engage in such activity and allow officers to gather facts and evidence required to bring these heinous killers to justice. Now, anyone with information is asked to contact police by calling 211, the main police telephone number on 295-0011, or the Crime Stoppers hotline on 800-8477. Or if there's a police officer whom you are familiar with or comfortable with speaking with, they have urged you to share that information. And hundreds of non Bermudians have become eligible for permanent resident certificates as a result of the changes to the Bermuda Immigration and Protection Act 1956 that became effective December 1st. Government spokesperson said that the Department of Immigration began accepting applications on January 1st, but government confirmed that as many as 500 could be eligible to apply, with the government already making them available as of March 1st. Application fees vary from $3,500 to $10,000. No information on how many applications have been submitted so far. PRCs, are now available to 20-year residents, parents of Bermudians, and children born to second generation PRCs. Taking a look at today's weather, we have a high near 76 and a low near 69 degrees. We will see bright skies to the start of this Monday morning, but don't get too comfortable, as cloud cover and showers will soon set in and a chance of thunder later on. Low pressure will continue to roam to our west over the next several days, maintaining a southerly breeze and sporadic showery activity. Skies will occasionally brighten today and tomorrow, despite the brief chance of thunders this morning. Now, sporadic showery activity continues early into Wednesday before a boundary of convergence retrogresses back over the island, with the higher potential for rainfall. That's all for our daily hour news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Now let's head back to Jamal and Sancha in the studio for today's Daily Focus.
All righty. Thanks so much for that, Lee and Sancha. What you got for us? What day is it? Something fun?
Today is National Moscato Day.
Ooh, that's that sweet wine, huh?
Yes.
You
Do
got
you like Moscato?
I used to, and I'm kind of mad because I can't even have a glass right now.
Like, this is gonna be, when I saw it, I was like, this is gonna be one for Lee. I know
but
she's
I
all
can't.
about Moscato.
I can't even indulge. I can't even have a glass.
Yeah. So
So-
today's National Moscato Day.
So, I mean, I became a dry wine guy myself. So I left the sweet wines, but I just remember it was one of the sweetest. Like, is it like a dessert wine per se? I mean,
Yeah, it's along the lines of a dessert wine like Riesling.
yes, that's what it's like. Riesling. Okay. Well, we know what you used to do for work, so I'm gonna.
That's why I was like, this is all for Liana. She can tell us all about it.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that news break, Lee. A lot going on. Like I said earlier. Folks, we're gonna have a giveaway every day this week. You stick with us till the end of the show for your chance to win this giveaway. But Sherry, she mentions her background about trauma all the time, so it has something to do with trauma. But we'll have a giveaway every day this week on behalf of the Bermuda Psychology Association, Bermuda College, and somebody else, and I'll tell you when I remember. Yeah, that's just how I am. Lee, and see you tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.
Bye, Lee. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All righty, folks, do not go anywhere. We are coming back. We're speaking about the media. We're speaking about the media. I'm sure you all have some opinions on this. Don't go anywhere.
Let's face it, life can be a little wild, but shopping doesn't have to be. I choose People's, so that whether it's a prescription that needs to be filled, a toy for my little terror, or a gift for a new addition to the family, we'll see about that. Everything's available in one convenient location. Some call it People's. I call it my one-stop shop in the city. People's, we're here for you.
We're featuring a range of remarkably effective household cleaning solutions made with ecologically sound ingredients and pleasing fragrances from Ecos, a company with over 50 years experience producing plant-powered cleaning products. The founder was a veteran chemist in the cleaning products industry and started up Ecos as a response to the harsh chemicals he had routinely encountered. Try Ecos non-abrasive cream cleanser, vinegar window cleaner, and in spray bottles, Orange Plus and Parsley Plus cleaners, shower and floor cleaners, furniture polish, and stain and odor remover. Lindo's, why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
All right, welcome back to the big show. She's Sancha Durham. I'm Jamal Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Thanks again to everyone who keeps tuning in on BCG Radio. Again, folks, if you're unable to watch due to being at work or driving or whatever, you can just download the BCG Radio app and you can listen to us over on the app. But let's get to the question. So obviously, Sancha, there's been a lot of unfortunate incidents as of late, with shootings and murders, bodies being found, and so on. And even the house where the unfortunate situation where we lost a life that I guess blew up is the term. It was an explosion,
Yeah.
and people, and let's just be honest, a lot of us go on these videos, live videos, and we take it in. We want to know what's happening. We want to know what's happening. Let me put this out there. No matter who the person is or the conversation, I truly do believe what Trevor Lindsay does is necessary. I guess my question is, well, what's too far? I think that's the argument morally that Bermudians have had over the years. However, and this is no slight or disrespect to Burnous, but Burnous really became popular when shootings were happening in 2009 when they started. Not when Burnous started, but when the shootings in Bermuda started. Burnous was always first on the scene, and that's really how they grew, right? Trevor has found a calling of being first on the spot and reporting this to people, letting people know what's going on. But the question today is, do you believe that the local media is too aggressive in trying to report the news? Are they too aggressive? Do you think that, at the end of the day, what he's doing is not necessarily different from what you see in a lot of other jurisdictions, but Bermuda's different. Bermuda is a small town, small community. Is it acceptable? What are your thoughts?
So for me, obviously, media is very important and they do need to report. And it's also a business, right? First on scene gets the best, the biggest story, and the most followers. So, yes, that needs to happen. But as you say, Bermuda is small. Like we are a different community. It's just like you look at gun violence. You bring guns into Bermuda and it's a totally different ball game. We are only 60,000 people, right? It hits home differently. So when the media is on scene, if that becomes your loved one, that becomes your son, that becomes your partner, that becomes, your father, it's a totally different feel and you're not able to handle that situation. Um, on a personal level like you would like to or need to. And a lot of times we don't think about that. We just want to know. As soon as those lives pop up, look at the amount of people that are actually on the live. It we have that need to know. And social media as well has changed all of that too. So the media, I also think, tries to get there before it can be put on social media, right?
Mhm.
So it's that battle and that balance. How do you find a healthy balance?
Yeah, no, I hear you. I appreciate that, Sancha. Do you believe that the local media is too aggressive in trying to report news? Philip Trout, our co-host, says no issue with reporting tragic incidents, but the media cannot prioritize being first over being accurate. Interesting. Um, it should be about being accurate. It literally is. It's fascinating to me to see how the Royal Gazette has almost stayed in their lane in terms of like they have no interest in trying to put reporters quickly on scene and stuff. It's interesting because you think about it, they have so many reporters when comparatively speaking, but they haven't they don't seem to enter that space in trying to get the story first, which is interesting. I'd like to know why, um knowing that, you know around the world everyone wants to get that story as soon as possible. Karen
They're
Simmons says,
slightly
um,
different.
I will. But no, let me just finish this one and go ahead. Sorry about that. Karen Simmons says, I will show my age. The news for me is after, too aggressive. And in brackets, I don't need to know before family. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
And I think, the Royal Gazette is a different media outlet, right? I don't think that that is their lane, and I think that it's probably good for them to stay in their lane because a lot of the times, things this is me speaking,
Mhm.
not not the show. A lot of the times what is reported in the Gazette is inaccurate anyway. So I
I'm sorry.
I said it. Yes, I said it. It's been times where I've looked and I'm like, situations that I've been involved in, and I'm just like, where did that come from? What? No, that's not what happened. Like,
Yeah.
what? So yeah.
Yeah, let me play something for the audience.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Hey, we have a disclaimer, folks. So she gave it to you. I'm just gonna
I
recite
gave
it.
it to you at a time.
But honestly, I think it's I don't think what you're saying is just a feeling that you have. I think there's within the community there are people who feel a certain way regarding media. Period. I think the media has a responsibility to get news to the public. I think that's the challenge. The challenge is how they go about doing it and what they go about reporting to the public.
And I think that in that moment, I'm sure adrenaline is rushing, they're getting the story, we want to be first on scene. But I think that at some point, we need to stop for a second and let's think about morally. You know what I mean? Like you say, let's,
Yeah.
if something needs to be muted, so it's not being put out there in that second, like, don't be afraid to mute your mic. Don't be afraid
Mm.
to, we'll be back in 2 minutes for
Yeah.
you to assess something to see if it's appropriate.
And
You know?
credit to Trevor. I think one of the things he's done recently has muted his mic, and people are there. Oh, what happened to the mic? What happened to the mic? What happened to the audio? There's no audio, and people in the audience have reminded, hey, out of respect, he's gone on mute. Now, one of the things, and again, what I find fascinating is the way people will critique the media, but
Mhm.
eat it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, hold on. Trevor had a good conversation with, let's say, a minister of education the other day, and only 10 of you were tuned in, but a butt is found, and 1,500 of you are tuned in. Like, you're feeding a beast that you dislike, right? You're feeding this beast that you criticize.
Yeah.
But when he's giving you something worth, like even newsworthy that can help you and assist you, you're not even tuned in. Why? Because this may offend you, but we're a community who loves mess.
Exactly.
We're a community who loves mess. We're a community that loves this kind of stuff. We love the drama. And that's why it's my goal, as long as I'm doing this show with the people who I do it with right now, whether it's Sherry, Sancha, Philip, Larry, Maya, Leanna, whoever, our goal is not drama or a mess.
Exactly. And we do have that conversation all the time.
We do.
What I mean? Yeah.
We do. But again, I at the end of the day, we have to figure out what it is that we want, and we have to figure that out quickly because everyone has a problem with it
Yeah.
until it's there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I can't remember who just said it. Was it Miss Karen? It's true. Sometimes we need to say to ourselves, okay, let's step back. Let's take a deep breath and allow this to play out, before we start adding that energy and giving it the fuel to the fire. Because I mean, also we have to think about, like, the authorities have a job to do.
Indeed.
And us breathing down the neck on what happened or how did this happen, or you could be interfering with evidence. It's so many things that can go on that we have to be mindful of. And most importantly, like she said, the families. We're putting it out there because we think we saw it on TNN or Burn News, and the families don't even get a chance to find out in an appropriate way.
Yeah.
So we have to be mindful.
I agree. Do you believe, folks, this is your question, do you believe that the local media is too aggressive in trying to report news? Michelle White says, Sanja?
No, local news is not too aggressive, but they should also be sensitive and ensure that they are telling the real or true story.
Mm.
Totally agree, Michelle.
Abby Rogers for you, Sanch.
Bermudians are just pokey. We all crave the juice and want to know the scoop. But when it hits home and it's someone you know, then it's a problem. But we live in a very stuck up society. My girl will tell you how it is, Kay.
Michelle White goes on to say, we are a small community. They should not show license plates, clothes, etc. that identifies a person before the police have a chance to contact family. I think, for the most part, I believe that there are lessons that have been learned. I think the media is doing a job of trying to become better because let's be honest, there was a time when the mics were not muted.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and again, I'm just speaking from what I've seen. I think Trevor, and I'm using Trevor because that's the one who's first on scene most of the
Yeah.
time, but I think he has actually done a great job of becoming better, like listening to the criticism or feedback and trying to be better with it, right? But again, this is a lot on us. Like I said, folks, this gentleman could have he could have the person everyone wants to speak to at the moment, Curtis Dickinson, on, right? And 5 up to 10 of you will show up and ask questions. But as soon as there's something bad in the community,
Yeah. And everybody would make a joke about Uncle Trevor, right?
mhm.
But we depend on him. We
Yeah,
depend on him to be there. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So,
I think he's necessary. He's necessary. And I don't want people to forget, like, when those press conferences were first happening during COVID, it was Trevor Lindsay who got you a lot of the answers you were looking for.
listen, I was the biggest fan of Trevor. Like people were getting upset, like, oh, here Trevor goes again and making memes. But if Trevor did not ask those questions, and a lot of the questions that people didn't even know about, how many times, Trevor unveiled something that no, they didn't want you to know. But Trevor was there asking those difficult questions. So you can get upset with him. You can be like, oh, here he goes again. But those were the things that we needed to
Mhm,
know. Those were those uncomfortable questions that made, the government feel like, oh,
mhm.
he didn't want. Trevor was bringing that. And we have to respect that. We have
Indeed.
to respect that. And I think that Trevor he's done well and is doing well,
Mhm,
regardless of what, some people may not agree, but
mhm.
I give Trevor a pat on the back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you believe that local media is too aggressive in trying to report news in Bermuda? We've got Abby Rogers says, in other parts of the world, the news is wild and the media has no limitations. I just think because we're so small here, it may appear to be aggressive, but literally they are just doing their jobs. She goes on to say, exactly. They talk about Trevor, but your boy is on it. I
Yeah.
want to look at other parts of the world. So let's use the US. I remember when I was working, Teo and I were working together, and I remember certain politicians would get backs at him for being critical, right? And back then, since I was able to stay up late, right? And I would
Mhm.
watch the late night shows. It was, I think, Jay Leno and David Letterman at the time, right? And they would roast politicians, mainly George Bush, right? They
Uh-huh.
would roast them every night, right? And I'm just like, you couldn't do this in Bermuda. They want to create a law to ban you and this and that. And
Politics
yeah,
is
like
the politics of it all. You have to tiptoe around things, and we're gonna hold on to things, and you have to watch what you say. And yeah, that's
I'll say this much for my answer. Do I believe local media is too aggressive in trying to report news? Honestly, I do not think the local media is aggressive enough in certain aspects. And I'll give you an example. When it comes to politics, I don't think the local media had done a great job of reporting government well enough. And what I mean by that is we just spoke about Trevor at the press conferences. I'm honestly not sure outside of Trevor, and Media Maya done an awesome job as well because she was very open to receiving questions from young people. So she really connected a generation with the politicians. But
Mhm.
outside of that, I'm not sure anybody really held the governments to, to the fire back then outside of those two, and respectfully. Now, no disrespect, but the Premier David Byrd, if you remember correctly, he walked all over Don Burgess. Well, I mean, it was times I'm like, Don, stand up to this guy. Like, what are you? And I felt for Don Burgess because Don was literally, in my opinion, I felt bullied for him. And then I would have loved to see, what's the new reporter guy name at the Royal Gazette? Sean Connolly, right? He's been with the Gazette since January, I guess. Could be wrong, but that's when I started noticing him. At times, I have disagreed with the manner in which he conducts himself. But boy, is he necessary. He is necessary.
Who was it? Oh gosh, was it Sean that put out that little video of him
Oh,
interviewing the premier?
um, I don't remember. I don't remember.
It
Mr.
made my day though.
Yeah, but I loved it. I love the stuff that comes after, folks. But I think the public deserves proper journalism. Bermudians deserve proper journalism.
Yeah.
And the only way we're going to get proper journalism is if we all understand what that's supposed to be and what it looks like.
We also need to take an interest and buy into it, right? As you say. And I think that's where spaces like where we are, if we're bringing these issues to light, then it piques their interest. Like, okay, I didn't think about that, right? So hopefully we create a space where people are more engaging more into like the political side of things and not just coming on because they heard a body was found, or
I
hopefully.
agree.
That's my hope.
I agree. Folks,
Yeah.
if you appreciated today's discussion and conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Yes or no? Is Bermuda's media too aggressive? Yes or no in the comments. Yes or no? Do you believe that Bermuda's local media is too aggressive in trying to report news? Yes or no? Just a quick yes or no. Sench, do you believe they're too aggressive? Yes or no?
I do not believe that they're too aggressive. But as I said, I do think that in the moment, there are certain things that need to be vetted, that we need to be mindful of. If this is your job, let's do it responsibly, and just not putting things out there that should not be out there in that moment. Let's have a little bit of respect. But I don't think they're too aggressive. No.
Alrighty. Abby Rogers says no. Nicole Walker says no. Miriam Simmons says no. Michelle White says no. Laverne Tucker says no. We've got a lot of no's. Karen Simmons, Diane White, Hedley and Stevenson Swan, Teresa Marie. I'll say this much. I think that the government gets a free ride.
I agree.
From a media perspective.
I agree.
Do I think the media is too aggressive? I'm actually going to say I don't think the media is aggressive enough. However, that doesn't mean be disrespectful. There's a way to do it. And there's a way to deliver the general public, the information that they should know. We're going to have a giveaway, right? We're going to come back, wrap this up. Giveaway.
Quickly, Jamal. I just want to say one thing quickly. I think that this shows us that we need to hold the media accountable, especially when it comes to political issues. So I'm putting it out there to everyone. We need to start holding our media accountable and having, getting them to ask the tough questions and educating themselves and, starting to know the direction that we need to go in and the answers that we need to get.
Including us, folks.
Yes, hold us accountable.
Indeed. We're gonna do a giveaway when we come back. We're gonna have the daily play. She's not getting away from that one, folks. She's not getting away.
I was hoping Jamal was gonna forget.
We're gonna give you a hint. We're gonna give you a hint. And
like the daily play.
Stick with us. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
I'm part of the SSCP, giving us opportunities to go out and sell, which is what I'm doing today.
One of the most important things I learned in the SSCP is that failure is just a part of being an entrepreneur.
As a vocal community, then you can't go anywhere, can you?
I just believe it's a really beautiful and amazing experience for everybody.
A lot of late nights being up trying to finalize things, especially for me.
You don't have to do everything at once. Little steps is the key to success.
They helped me go through every step of the way.
It has helped me gain more confidence, so that's one thing.
I'm Marley Spriggs and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Joshua Allen and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Trey Robertson Richards and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Namira Rayner and I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Vincent Darrell and I am an entrepreneur.
I'm Shayla Swan and I'm an entrepreneur.
I am Sophia Paxenhan. I am an entrepreneur.
My name is Zion and I'm a young entrepreneur.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Sancha Durham, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour. Thanks again to One Communications, Medical House, Lenders, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this for you on a daily basis. As always, good conversation this morning, Sancha. But
this is the only part, everybody would notice, this is the only part of the show that I don't smile. I smile any other time. And then when we get to this part, I'm like,
but it's easy, Sancha. Okay, here we go. I'm going to give you a nice hint. All right, time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Heineken 0.0. Great taste, no alcohol. Sancha, are you ready? She's just smiling. All right.
Harry.
It's a Who Said It, and it's by a television legend. Quote, when you undervalue what you do, the world will undervalue who you are.
When you undervalue.
TV legend, TV legend.
Talk show legend or TV legend?
I'm leaving it at TV legend.
Oprah?
Shit.
I got one!
I knew you knew it once you said talk show legend on TV.
Did you guys see that excitement? I'm going to be on a winning streak. Look, one at once, and all of a sudden I'm going to be on a winning streak.
Sherry had faith in you. She had faith. The audience, they all said, Auntie O, and Sherry give you look. Having a little party.
I think everyone's going to be so happy for me today.
Yeah, I was happy for you. I was happy for you. Any final thoughts on today's? Actually, folks, the hashtag for today's giveaway. So let me just tell you what we're going to be giving away. All right. So we'll be giving away every day this week a book titled Homecoming: Overcoming Fear and Trauma to Reclaim Your Whole Authentic Self by Dr. Thema Bryant. She'll be hosting a free webinar on Saturday, May 14th, 2022, put on by the Bermuda Psychology Association, the Bermuda College, and Mount Zion AME Church. All right. So it's a book we're giving away. The hashtag is going to be hashtag the Daily Hour. So you can start putting that hashtag in now, hashtag the Daily Hour, while Sancha and I wrap it up. Any final thoughts on today's show, though, Sancha? What's your thoughts on the discussion and the focus?
So, as I said, actually, let's start with middle to end. I think Bermuda is totally open. Again, we need to be mindful in being open, protect yourselves to protect your loved ones and your situation. But it's great to see the energy come back again. I mean, we're coming from a space where Maddox was young when COVID started, but all of a sudden when he sees these big crowds, it's like, Mom, like no one has on a mask and people are out, and it's amazing for him, right? So it's great to see that joy, and you
Yeah.
can imagine what this has done to our kids. So it's happy that they're getting back to a normal, right? Whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
Um,
And he was, how old was Maddox? Sorry.
so Maddox is 6 now.
Or when it, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's become normal to him to
Mm,
have to wear his mask, or I mean, he does it without even thinking about it. He was on a play date the other day, and and I see them put on their mask when they got close, and it's like, we don't even think about that, right?
yeah.
But this is something that has just become normal to them.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then as far as the media is concerned, as I said, we need to start holding the media accountable, and asking those questions. And we need to be mindful to get more involved
Mhm.
in other, topics rather than the messy ones, right?
Yeah.
So check yourself as well as the media. Say to yourself, okay, so if so and so is going to be interviewing David Bart, give them that support. Make
Yeah.
sure you tune in. Make sure you're learning something. Make sure, because a lot of what's going on, you may not agree with it,
Yeah.
but we're not showing up to show support. And this is why they think it's okay and they're doing a great job,
Mhm.
because we're not, we're mumbling
Yeah.
about it. We're
Yeah.
not speaking about it. So we're not being heard. And that
Accountability.
comes through journalism.
Yeah. Accountability, folks. As far as the end to end, middle to end, I will say that I was encouraged, I was happy, and hopefully this is the beginning of a new normal for Bermuda and Bermudians. As far as the media, like Sancha said, hold the media accountable. That includes us. Um, there have been many times, not as of late, because I'm getting better, but I've had to retract things on this show. I've had to go and say, "Oh, nope, I was wrong yesterday." That's responsible media, and it's up to those who are receiving the information to sometimes say, "Hey, no, you got it wrong," or "You know what? I disagree." It's okay, and it's okay. All right. Let's do this giveaway, and then Sanchez going to send us off with some daily inspiration. So let's see. Let's hit that button. Let's hit that draw. Let's see who's it going to be. Oh, hold on.
Remember,
Yolanda Richards.
yes.
Congratulations. You will be receiving a book. So, Yolanda, please send an email to engage@thedailyhour.com and we'll be sure to get you your book. Again, it's a book that we'll be giving away one a day. Dr. Dama Bryant will be hosting a webinar. For that information, you can reach out to us as well and we'll get it to you. But Sancha, you've got some daily inspiration to send us off for the day?
I do. So you're going to go through tough times, and that's life. But I say nothing happens to you, it happens for you. See the positive and negative events. And that's Joel Osteen.
I love that one. See the
Yeah.
positive and negative events.
It's a lot going on. Still, we're trying to get back to a positive place, but there's still so much going on. And if you are able to find the positive in that negative, like Liana busting her windshield, but running into that interview.
I'm sorry. That was
That's a perfect segue, isn't it?
it was. It was. Folks, if you haven't already, download the BCG radio app. It's Reggae Mondays today. Enjoy the sweet sounds of reggae music. Thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sancha Durham. I'm Jamel Hartman. My friends, make it a safe and great day. Sancha still doesn't have a mug, but I do. Peace.